Rodin. Welcome to BOMISpirit. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing and commenting. Please be sure your notification settings are set to your liking. Also, make sure you check your email. Some people told me they only get notifications in email. I know, weird algorithm stuff. I even saw a comment the other day where it said they hadn't seen anything in months. I've been here. Anyway, besides that, this is going to be the general tarot reading for Capricorns, Tauruses, and Virgos. These readings are timeless and general, so please take the messages as they resonate for you. Practice your own discernment with that. Don't try to make anything fit, because then you're not really flowing with the vibe, right? Let's go ahead and get started. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. They were showing me a particular card. It's the ship card from one of my Lenormand decks. The ship card represents endings, beginnings. It's a movement card. It's interesting because I feel like there's an energy that you will eventually be moving into, but I feel a big disconnect there. I feel a big disconnect. Some of you, I feel a lot of anxiety and frustration, almost like you want to be moving. You want to be, some of you it's actually about traveling or actually moving. Others of you, it's just about having other momentum in your life, just having a lot of new things or things moving forward where you're not really stuck or stagnant or in some kind of rut or routine. But the disconnect that I'm actually feeling an emotional stagnancy. Some of you might even translate to boredom or depression, but I feel like some of you, it's focusing on past stuff and what could have been. It's not focusing on what you have in the present. Thank you. That's essentially what it's coming down to. So emotionally, you're not really in a state of receiving. You're not really in a state of gratitude. It's to move into that state where you have flow and movement and progression and endings and beginnings and change and all of that, moving into the present moment and moving into appreciating what you have in your own possession actually can facilitate you moving into a state of receiving new things and having new things come in. When we focus on what we don't have or what we had or what we'd eventually like to have but not what we actually have, it literally puts us in a state of not having. It literally puts us in a state of lack or scarcity, and it can kind of lead to some stagnancy. I'm actually feeling a 5 of Cups energy there. So maybe some of you guys are grieving. I'm getting strong Cancer. Wow. Okay, our son's getting strong Cancer energy. We did have the new moon in Cancer. We do have the full moon in Capricorn coming up, which obviously is reliant on the sun being in Cancer. It is Cancer season. When does Venus move into Cancer? Ooh, when does Venus move into Cancer? That just came up. Shoot, I don't remember when it moves. I don't know why I'm whispering. I don't remember when Venus was in Cancer, but that just came up. So that might apply here for when some of this movement might be able to take place for you, or can apply to your own natal chart. But anyway, moving on. Yeah. And being in this place of emotional stagnancy, emotional lack, it's not allowing you to focus on your desires. It's almost, I hate to say acting as a distraction, because there's a lot more to that's going on there. And I don't want to say it's dismissing what you're feeling, because what you're feeling is what you're feeling. They're valid feelings. But it is taking away your focus on what you actually want for yourself. I just said, and here comes more frustration. That's literally what I just heard. Here comes more frustration. A part of you really does want to focus on what your desires are, though. A part of you, it almost feels like an Ace of Wands energy. You want to be focused on that. You want to have all this forward movement. You definitely want that. But whatever is emotionally holding you back or has you maybe sad or down or depressed or anxious, there's something there that's keeping you from being in the present and keeping you from really being in this forward flow. Some of you guys might even perceive this as being in an in-between, a transient period of time between a death and a rebirth. Some of you guys might be perceiving it that way, but I can feel it. It feels really frustrating. I mean, I could say try not to be too hard on yourself or down on yourself, but we're all human. But I do feel I want to say that to you, earth signs. I think Capricorns are going to be feeling this the most between all the earth signs. Yeah, I'm really feeling Capricorn with that. Cancer predominantly, which is so interesting, because I think you guys are in a lot of water energy. But I think of the 3 signs, I'm really feeling Capricorn the most when it comes to this energy that I'm channeling. They're showing me dice. So some of you who like do this kind of work already know, like, there's certain signs or symbols that like you've established with your spirit team or your star families or whoever it is that you channel or talk to, right? So when they show me dice, they know that to me is a implication that there's like risk involved. There's like a need to take a chance involved, or something could go either way. It feels like a very shaky energy. I feel like you associate what you desire with risk. Maybe even like, I have to be all in or nothing at all. I could lose everything. I'm hearing that. I could lose everything. So while it excites you, there's like layers to this. So while it excites you, you're like, that actually keeps you from also going all in on it, but you already know you need to go all in on it for it to like pan out, to make it work. And at the same time, you have this like emotional stagnancy going on that's really wrapped up in like a 5 of Cups energy. There's grief there. There's grief there. There's pain there. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the general Earth sign collective. We're going to start with the animals because they're just the best. Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Oh, we got a kitty cat. You can see his silhouette in the glass reflection. Hopefully he doesn't jump up. He probably will because he always does. Anyway, any messages or insights from my Earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The risk might be financial for a lot of you. Just kind of feeling pentacles with that. Come on. We have frog and owl. A lot of you who've been watching me for a long time already know what the frog is. It's emotional cleansing. Emotionally letting go. Emotional purification and cleaning. And that's kind of what needs to happen, right? It's like whatever you're focusing on emotionally, it evokes 5 of Cups. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you looking back in the past for some of you. Some of you, it's just keeping you attached to something that actually causes you pain. And while you're doing that, you're not focusing on what you actually want. And it is kind of acting as a distraction. I'm not saying it is a distraction in of itself because there's a reason that it's there, right? But it is distracting from what you actually want to do and want to pursue. I am hearing identity. I actually wanted to pull the owl out when I said that too. Identity. Identity. For those of you who are empathic, I feel like some of this emotional cleansing is actually wrapped up in attachments that have to do with other people's feelings and other people's emotions. Not just taking them on, but like, excuse me, shaman birds. Oh, how do I put this into words? How do I put this into words? Like, I want to say, like, the pain and shame from some of these relationships you've had with people where their shit, like their emotional stuff, has affected you empathically, but in doing so, it's also affected you, like how you see yourself. It's affected like the choices you made in life because you were feeling what they were feeling and you were there for them and what have you. And the way it held you back in your own life. Wow. Okay, that was for somebody. Somebody needed to hear that. Some of you need to cleanse that out. Some of you need to cleanse that out. Some of you really can't let go of the person you used to be, and you're not allowing yourself to be the person you are. Like, you know, when we go through changes like that, when we go through transformations like that, where it's like, you know, we realize we're capable of new things, or we've learned a lot and we can have different kinds of relationships and different kinds of work and lifestyle choices. You know, sometimes it's really hard to detach from the person you were and like the go-to things and really truly embrace all of the new. Sometimes it is a little bit of like growing pains period that happens there. And some of you, that's what it's coming down to. that you just can't let go of the person you used to be, and maybe some of the emotional shit that like you had to endure because of that. So I'm getting this in all kinds of different ways. So again, take it as it resonates for you. I'm just picking up on all these like little niche like groups within the collective that I'm channeling for. Now with Owl coming out here, I actually feel like this is a really, it's funny because it's like, it's very Cancerian. It's a high priest energy, but I'm feeling Cancer on here. I'm feeling Cancer on this Owl. It is intuition. It is psychic awareness. It's divine feminine wisdom. This card also speaks of like a positive reward coming, positive gift coming. It's like the owl is going to be revealed to you. The owl is going to emerge for you to embrace within yourself if you let go of whatever you're getting caught up on emotionally. Again, I really feel like it ties into or plays into your identity, your sense of self, and the choices you make because of that. It's like, oh God, I hate saying it, but I really feel like distraction. It was a little bit like a whirlwind energy for some of you. I'm hearing Virgo. Virgos, you might experience this as like a big anxiety whirlwind for you. But I can feel it. It's like literally keeping your eyes off the prize. I did not mean to rhyme there. It really didn't. It's keeping your eyes off of your Ace of Wands. It's keeping your eyes off of forward movement and progression. Some of you to do this are also realizing from an intuitive standpoint that you might have to let go of something physical in order to let go of something emotionally. And I do feel like that's more of a person you might have to let go of. Oh, the way a relationship has been. And I don't feel like it's romantic. I feel like it's either like a close friend or a family member for those where that applies. That feels hard. That feels hard. Because I don't want to say de-evolution. That's not the right word. It feels like being totally enmeshed. Kind of like a codependent relationship. Like being totally enmeshed and then having to like not be. But the owl will emerge as you do this emotional letting go. Oh boy. All right. Any other messages or insights? That's a lot of cards. Am I taking all these? Pace. There is a pace. Okay, I am taking these. I'm hearing pace with the crow and the camel. Pace. What are you pacing? What are you pacing? It feels like you're pacing creation. Maybe so you don't burn out. It's kind of interesting to feel it like this. I feel like this is an energy that you can move into after you do the emotional letting go. Okay? After you do the emotional letting go, putting into practice productivity, sustainability of your own energy. I'm definitely feeling that. But crow is like magician energy. It's alchemy. It's transmutation. What are you transmuting? I feel like you're creating. Some of you are transmuting something. What are my earth signs transmuting? Relationships. That came in really loud. Relationships. Relationships. Some of you have been really holding off on making certain changes within relationships. Again, doesn't have to be romantic. It can be all kinds of relationships. Can you just be the way you actually relate to human beings, to people? Because it requires you to let go of something emotionally. And for some of you, letting go of a sense of identity or the person you kind of seen yourself as. This is also interesting, something that's coming up here too. Again, this is going to be for, I think, a small group of people. Oh God, how do I put this into words? There's definitely some guilt and shame with this that I'm feeling of, it's not that you're acting harsher. It's not that you're being more cold. You're actually being more of who you are in relating to people. And I feel like that's definitely setting boundaries and like learning to use your voice and voice. Thank you. They said, look at the card. I was like, okay. Using your voice. We have Black Egg and Firefly. We'll get to that in a second. It's not that you're being colder or harsher and it doesn't make you a bad person. Some of you are struggling with that. doesn't make you a bad person, but it feels that way. It feels that way. And then I think you start to question yourself. You start to doubt yourself. Like, am I really this person? I thought I was like this. And like, does that make me like them? Does that make me like these people from my past? It's like, you kind of go a little over analytical on it. It's funny because I feel such Cancer, and I'm talking to earth signs. That feels so Cancerian to me. Again, I really think Capricorns are going to be really feeling this the most. It's okay to shine. It's okay to shine. It's okay to have more self-worth and standards to do what you got to do, to say no, to have those boundaries in place. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you a bad person. And if someone starts to guilt trip you, that's a reflection on them, not a reflection on you. Getting used to that, embracing that part of you. I think you're also having a hard time of like, oh, is this my shadow? Is this the part of me that's like the dark side? It doesn't matter, to be honest with you. Let's just keep it real. It doesn't matter. You can label it light or dark. It doesn't matter. It's who you are. I actually think it's a part of you that has been really suppressed, and you're bringing it to the surface now, learning to embrace it, but there's some growing pains with it. Okay, anyway, moving on. Firefly with Black Egg. Black Egg is a throat chakra card. It is a throat chakra energy. Firefly is sparks of creativity. It actually is like a quick burst, like a quick burst of energy. It's like the kind of energy where it's like you're suddenly like, you wake up at midnight and you have so much energy, you have so many ideas, and you gotta like just get to work right then and there, like up to like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's that kind of energy. That's Firefly. I'm definitely feeling some throat chakra activations for some of you. It might feel really strange. So I just picked up this 1717. I looked up at the camera, by the way. This might feel really strange. Like, you might like be chilling by yourself. And this, I think this is most likely going to happen after like meditation or having some sort of like alone time where you're communing with yourself or spirit or nature, what have you. You can even just be relaxing in the park, and this can happen, where you suddenly just like, just can't help but like make sounds or just say something. You just can't help but sing. It's like, it feels like the throat chakra is getting like activated. That's interesting. It might feel very weird. Especially for those of you where like you're not used to using your voice, or you're learning to use your voice with people. Yeah, that might feel very, very, very strange. But I'm really feeling that there, Firefly and Black Egg. Yeah, especially for those of you where, you know, there's like relationship or relationships that you need to let go that have been enmeshed, and you really need that separation. You're going to really be using your voice there. And it might feel very uncomfortable. You might feel really awful about it, but this is a lesson to learn. Okay? There's a lesson that needs to be learned here. And it's not that you're trying to hurt them. And it's also like, definitely take into consideration, like, is doing this harming someone in a very like unnecessary way? Or is this, I'm doing what is really healthy and best for me, and I'm trying my best to not hurt you, and I'm trying my best to consider you, but you might be getting hurt, even though this is what's necessary? That's completely different, right? Moving on. So other cards want to come up here. A lot of, ooh, I think that's Dragonfly. Oh yeah, it's Dragonfly. I was about to say, you guys got a lot of cards, Earth signs. Any other messages or insights for my Earth signs? So Dragonfly's last card out. Dragonfly is intuition, it's perception. It's very much like the third eye energy coming in here. It's funny because I feel like you already have the idea of what the new is, like what you want to move forward into, what you want to progress into, what you desire. That again has been really hard to focus on because you've had this like emotional stagnancy that's been distracting you, the thing you can't let go of that relates to, again, your sense of identity or sense of self. But it's been there. Like, that's what I'm feeling with Dragonfly. It's like your awareness of the new has been there, but your eyes are not focused on it. It's been hard to focus on it. And I can feel your frustration because you have that strong desire, but this needs to happen first. It's right there. Like, honestly, it's really right there. Some of you might think like you don't know it or you don't have it, but you totally do. You totally do. This is taking up space. Overall, we have Wolf. Wolfy Wolf. Wolf relates to tribal dynamics, you know, amongst family or groups. It also has a bit of like a student-teacher energy, like a wisdom energy to it. I really feel strongly, Earth signs, you're really learning how to follow through with what you've learned about boundaries in relating to people. Like, you're really following through with that. The follow through has been hard, and that's why you haven't done it yet. For those who are resonating with this, like, you haven't done the full follow through yet. This is about finally doing it. Finally letting go. Finally stepping into that sense of authority and respect and integrity and requiring that people respect those things. Again, coming back to this creative energy, I just got pulled in here again for the crow and the camel. There's a lot coming through here from our signs. Again, to me, this feels like creative energy. This feels like a pacing, trying to utilize your energy in the most efficient way possible. And like I said, you're definitely transmuting something. And I did pick up that it was about relationships and the way you are relating to people. And I do think that's why Wolf is out here. But this could also, I'm getting like leadership energy. So for some of you, this is also about stepping into more of a leadership role. That feels more like work to me. That doesn't feel like family. To me, that feels like work, vocation, whatever you are creating in your own reality for those who are in that boat here. Okay. But anyway, Wolf. Wow. Okay. Earth sign collective. Let's go ahead and get into the signs. Which one are you doing first? Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo? I like to go in order, but Capricorns, you're so loud. You're so loud. So we're gonna go with you first. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Oh, my Cappies. You're juggling a lot. I literally saw like 8 balls in the air. And I was like, how is anybody gonna catch that? Like literally that was my first thought. Like, how is everybody gonna catch all those balls? Like, you only got 2 hands. You only got 10 fingers. You can't even like even if you were, well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you'd have to be like super talented to be like, whoop, like catch them all between your fingers. I hate to say it because it sounds like such a cliche, but Capricorns, you put too many balls up in the air right now. And I really think you did that to feel better because there's something that you have to let go of. You might even have to drop some balls. You might have to take some of those balls back. I literally I can feel it. You threw more balls up in the air because you didn't feel okay. You didn't feel okay. You wanted to feel okay. And accomplishing things, accomplishing goals and tasks makes you feel better. It just does. You're a Capricorn. It is what it is. But you put too many up in the air. And now something's got to be done about that. I do think sitting down and reprioritizing things and starting to cut things is going to be really good for you. But the number one thing, you got to address why you're not okay. It's like I just heard nighttime thoughts, but it's not just nighttime thoughts. It's like, I also want to say like the little thoughts. Like when you're in the middle of doing a lot of things, or you catch yourself in a quiet moment, like driving or something like that. Like, what comes to you emotionally? Like, what's on the surface that you're not talking about, that you're not addressing? Because I feel like it's very strong. I feel like it's very palpable, whether it's coming through as anger or extreme sadness, or anxiety. It's right there. And I know you know what it is, but it's like, again, there's this hesitancy of going there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for my Capricorns. Who are we starting with? We'll do Light Seers Tarot for Capricorns. Any messages or insights for my Capricorns? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Just like holding a torch. Like I said, you earth signs, you have, like, torch just says Ace of Wands to me. You know what that is. You know what you actually want. You know what that new is. But your eyes are on this, and some of you have some anxiety about actually following through with what this new is, because it's going to require all of you. It's going to require 100% commitment and maybe even some sacrifice to make it happen. And there might, and again, I feel that there's a risk there of, like, you could lose everything. That doesn't apply to all of you. But it has that, like, sense of high stakes. I also think something that would help Capricorns, if you're in, like, the high, like, really truly high stakes boat, try to establish what you can, like, really establish, like, stable financial reserves, or, you know, predictable whatever, you know, whatever this is in the realm of for you. I do feel like a lot of you, it is about your own financial state of being. But if it's about a relationship, like, relationships are risky. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. They're risky. But if this is about something in the physical realm that requires you to take a risk, like, try to just establish cushion as much as you can, and then dive in. That's my best recommendation. Any messages or insights from our Capricorns? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I feel like you guys are gonna get a lot of major arcana. I'm feeling the death card for my Capricorns. Any messages or insights from my Capricorns? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Am I taking those? No. Yeah, that didn't feel right. Like 10 cards came out. Any other messages or insights from my Capricorns? I heard a quick tongue, and then this card came out. 5 of Swords. Ugh. You guys are frustrated. Capricorns, you're in survival mode. You know it too. You know it. Some of you are like, how do I get out of this? Yeah, some of you guys realize that, like, this energy you're in is really not conducive for you. It almost puts you in a place where, like, you're not really following your own intuition, because, again, you're kind of distracted. All this, like, distracted. Even, like, the crow by his face looks like he's, like, a big distraction. Leave him a headache. Yeah, you're in survival mode. I know it's hard, Capricorns, but I really think you need to cut some things and reprioritize, and also go at it from a standpoint of what's going to provide you. Just something weird outside. Sorry. What's going to provide you the most consistent security, and then take whatever risk you need to. Yeah. You're in survival mode. I think a little fun wouldn't hurt either. A little bit of fun can take you out of that that tense energy, have you a little bit more playful in your inner child, coming from, like, your sacral and your heart space, as opposed to, like, all up here. Yeah, actually, I think a little fun would be really good for you guys too. Like, take a day or two off and then come back, you know, and figure stuff out. Any other messages or insights from my Capricorns? I feel fighting. Capricorns, I do. I feel fighting. I don't know who you're fighting with, but you're frustrated, you're stressed, and I think you're out of patience. I think that's really because of what is emotionally still, that you're still attaching to, or you're still holding in your heart. I think that's really what it is. that's making you want to fight, or like, you know, not saying that other people might not be causing fights, but that is something that like is keeping you in the fight with people, or keeping you, is also contributing to your frustration. But I'm feeling fights and conflict. Any other messages or insights for my Capricorns? Am I taking this? Yes. Hierophant. Oh. What is the right thing to do? Hierophant could be standards, ethics, morals, traditions, obligations. Again, you've got too many balls in the air, and it's like, I can feel the struggle. It's like you're trying to follow your intuition, you're trying to do what's right for you, but you keep getting pulled back by, God, so many different things that I'm feeling. You're getting pulled back, and I also want to say held back by relationships that cause conflict for you, or actually like conflict with your own truth. Some of you, that's also what's going on here, like some obligations that you're tied to, especially when it comes to family systems, is actually rubbing up against your truth and what it is you actually want, and it's causing this dissonance, which means it's also putting you in a state of tension and stress, and pushing you more into kind of like a survival mode, as opposed to just being and doing. Because when you have friction, you can't just be. When you have tension and struggle and like tug of war, you can't just be and flow, right? A lot of stuff going on here for my Capricorns. So you guys are really struggling with your spiritual path. I keep hearing, what's the right thing to do? 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 Again, I suggest a day or two off. Have fun. Don't allow yourself to think about this stuff that's been plaguing you, that's been stressing you out. Just let yourself feel, just let yourself be, just let yourself play. And then come back, reprioritize, go about that priority list by like, what will help to establish the most like sense of predictability or security, and then take whatever risk you need to take and cut whatever it is you need to cut. I think that's going to help you to feel a lot better here. Okay, let's keep going. Any other messages or insights from my Capricorns? There it is. There it is. Two of Cups in reverse. The fighting with people, the conflict with people. I feel like there's more than one person. Sometimes it could be a person. I feel like it's more than one. I really do. I feel like it's multiple people. I feel like it's about how you are relating to people and like what that's highlighting for you here. Okay. So you guys, this could involve a marriage with Hierophant, Two of Cups in reverse. Any other messages or insights for my Capricorns? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Ten of Pentacles. Family, legacy, work, career, long-term. The long term, the long term, the long term. The way this even fell on my board, it kind of fell on my board like this. So I can like that. But that Hierophant touching the Ten of Pentacles here, and on either side you have the Five of Swords and the Two of Cups in reverse. Some of you really feel like you're even disconnected from yourself, separated from yourself, and I definitely feel a struggle with your own intuition as a result of that. And that is also being reflected in your relationships, but that's because there is some kind of confliction of emotionally what you're attaching to and what you actually want. Because that's happening within you, now within your relationships, whatever obligations, whatever truths, whatever they are bringing to the table is rubbing up against your authentic truth, and it's causing conflict. It's causing stress. It's causing strife. And it's causing you to feel torn. It's causing you to feel frustrated. It's causing you to feel like, I'm pretty sure I know what I want. Why can't I get there? Because there's something else you're attaching to that you need to let go of. And once you do, those relationships will reconfigure around your sense of alignment with yourself, right? So some people might fall away. Some people you might deepen your relationships and deepen your connection here, but it's definitely affecting Like, it honestly feels like your entire life, in all the people you know, within work, within friends, within family, within romance. Like, it feels like it's touching every facet of you. It also feels like it's really affecting, again, like your own faith, um, your own spirituality. I'm really finding that there too with the Hierophant, the Ten of Pentacles. Like, these two cards together kind of screams mission to me, like sacred mission, life purpose, destiny. Like, you know, what you kind of look at as, I was born to do this, I'm supposed to do this. You're having a lot of dissonance there because there's something you haven't let go of within yourself as it relates to your identity, as it relates to your sense of self. And it's being reflected out in your relationships. I would actually observe. I guess it's the same thing. I would observe the words that people are using with you, what words they're saying to you. There might be some really big truths in there, or might even, I would take it as a chance to kind of look at it as a mirroring, like look at it as a version of you is talking to yourself. And what is it that this version of you is trying to tell you? Like, if you're talking to a family member, what is this family member saying to you? They're just a reflection of you. They're an aspect of yourself, right? We're all connected. What is it they're saying? Like, take those words, take them home, write them down, and like marinate on that, right? Yeah, Capricorns. On the bottom, we have, oh, wow. I was not expecting that. I kept feeling Death card. Ace of Cups, oh my, with the Lovers in reverse, Three of Swords, jeez, oh God, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay, I just felt this like deep, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't energy. That wasn't what it was. It was like, I felt something like a deep crack. Just like, ugh, like right down the middle. Anyway, let's get into some of this. So, this is going to be a long reading. We have Ace of Cups, Lovers in reverse, Three of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Those of you where romantic relationships are really at the core of this. I mean, this is total insecurity, or that's born of heartbreak. Total insecurity that's born of heartbreak. Authority figures. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, sometimes they get excited. That just came in really fast. Some of you have some deep-rooted fear and anxiety around authority figures, whether it's being an authority figure or having to deal with them. I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. I feel like they correlate, because I do feel like there's a moving into leadership energy for all my earth signs in this reading. And yeah, that makes so much sense with the Hierophant being there too. And this might translate out to bosses, to parental figures, and even romantic energies where someone's like very dominant, where you play submissive. Ooh, Capricorns, this could be vice versa, so keep that in mind too. I'm hearing service with that. I don't want to get into that. Anyway, back to this authority figures. I feel insecurity there with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. There's something in your history, Capricorns, around authority figures that has made you really shut off a part of yourself. And I really feel like it's also partly your voice, and your boundaries. Thank you. And this is where like the present conflict of relationships is coming up here, where that gets evoked in you, where you can feel that kind of replay of being made to feel small, or being made to feel like a child, or being made to feel like you can't do something, or you're not good enough at something. And I can feel it, like you want to like vomit, like you want to vomit like some aggressive words or painful words. I can feel it, like you're wanting to jump out of your skin when you're experiencing this, like more in like recent past or present moment. And I think that's what comes out as like lashing out or conflicts with people. Capricorns, it's time to really face that. Like, that might require a little bit of shadow work. That might require a little bit of inner child work. But there's a lot of pain around feeling insecure or not good enough or small, not sure of yourself, like a little doubtful, because at some point in time in your life, or there's been a pattern or history where you were made to feel that way. And for some of you, it's hard to detach from that. It's hard to detach from that and really fully embrace, like, the version of you that doesn't believe that, the version of you that sees yourself as totally capable and a leader and all those things, like an authority figure in your own right. I also can feel this energy too of like times where you try, like you're Capricorns, how are you guys getting such a long reading? Like you try to be very, like in that, like you try to be very authentically just you, and then it just doesn't get received very well by certain people or even authority figures in and of themselves. And it makes you go into survival mode. It makes you anxious. It makes you angry. It makes you frustrated. And so it's like, this is what's emotionally distracting you right now. So while you might want forward progression, you might want an Ace of Wands energy, you might want to go for some kind of big goal where maybe you are the authority figure, you are the leader in it, you will have full authority and control over it. But there's a part of you that is still struggling to let go of the person who was made to feel like you couldn't do it. Who was made to feel like you couldn't handle that responsibility, or you couldn't handle that commitment, or that you couldn't follow through with it, or you would fail at it. Wow. Wow. And for those of you where this is actually more about like a romantic relationship or relationships, it might be translating as fear of commitment, but it's not fear. It's not a fear of commitment itself. It's like, well, I guess it is in some ways. I guess it is. You fear losing that independence. You fear codependent relationships. Thank you. That's more accurate. You fear codependent relationships. You want to be vulnerable. You want to be true. You want to be authentic with that Ace of Cups there. You really do. But you don't want a codependent relationship where you're just going to be enmeshed, right? Enmeshed and merged with another human being like that. And if you're being confronted with this opportunity, it's putting in a little bit of an irritated state, tension state, aggro state. Capricorns, let's get some advice for you. And let's move on. Your reading's been very low. All right. We're going to go with Shamanic Healing Oracle for you. Actually, I'm going to use this for all the signs. Advice for my Capricorns. Burden. It landed on the Ten of Pentacles too. Burden. Let's see. I'm gonna read them to you because I think that actually is gonna do it more justice. Anything else for my Capricorns for advice? Burden comes out when it's like we're literally just, how do I say it? Taking responsibility when we don't have to. Especially for those of you dealing with enmeshed relationships or dealing with authority figures where you feel like you can't actually exercise your own authority or autonomy. No Cappies. Any other messages or insights or advice for my Capricorns? Advice from the Cappies. Okay, that's it. I will say in the bottom, you guys got anger. I'm leaving that out for you because I felt that. Been feeling that frustration and irritation and like like lashing out energy with you guys. Burden and anger. They look very similar, don't they? Kind of like scratchy and like a little aggravated. Let's read those and we're going to move on. My throat will let me. Many times we take on the stress of those we love and care for. We see it as the ultimate sacrifice. We take on others' burdens to save them the trouble or heartache. Ironically, the way energy in the universe works makes us a very counterproductive way of operating. When we take on the burdens of others, we deny them the ability to learn and grow from their own lessons. We also interfere with divine planning and timing, never one to be thwarted. Any lessons circumvented will absolutely reappear, sometimes with much more force than what was originally intended. Ask yourself if you or another is taking on troubles and lessons not belonging to them out of a need to be needed. This stems from the fear that you or they are fundamentally not enough. This is not true. You are created perfect. Your fears and doubts keep you separated from this truth. This is the separation one can feel from Creator. Once you accept and believe you are perfect and worthy, the tendency to make yourself invaluable to others through your help and assistance will go away. Your relationships can then be based on truth and not manipulation. Yeah. And for those where it's like there's codependency in the middle of this, it doesn't have to be your codependency. It could even be you dealing with people who are codependent, and they just want to be enmeshed with you, and you don't want that. It can go either way. Anger. A very strong and primal emotion. Anger sometimes catches us by surprise. At other times it seethes just under the surface, simmering a long while until it boils over, scalding anyone who is close. Anger is based in fear. Fear of a loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing the underlying fear. Alternately, be aware of someone's anger directed towards you. I'm out of water. Taurus or Virgo? Taurus. Taurus, we're going to go with you. Okay. So what's going on with my Tauruses? Sorry, I'm laughing. They're showing me a lot of indulgence. It's like, of course, Taurus, of course. Lots of food. See, lots of food for Taurus. Lots of food, lots of shopping. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of food, lots of shopping. That's very funny. So just be mindful, Taurus, if you are overdoing it. Like, just be mindful. That's all I'm going to say. Your life. Do what you want. Have fun. I'm a full believer in having fun, but also my Venus is Libra. So, might not want to totally listen to me on that front. Anyway, Taurus. Taurus. What's going on for my Taurians? What's going on for my Bulls? For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I do feel like you guys are kind of on a high. I do feel a lot of that, like, endorphins, like riding highs of life, and I do feel like that might be why you are doing a lot of eating or shopping. I do feel like even romance is in the midst of this too. Like you're just wanting to feel good and you're wanting to stay feeling good, and you're trying to like ride that high. Yeah, just be mindful of your spending. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull some cards to see what else we can get for you guys, okay? We're gonna go spell casting. Any messages or insights for my Taurians? Oh, actually, I like immediately want to go for the astrology deck now. Am I doing that? Yes, I heard yes, I'm doing that. So I'm gonna do that. So the deck that I'm using now for my Taurians, I always get it confused. Black Moon. This is when it's like little Black Moon astrology cards. Any messages or insights for my Taurians? Any messages or insights for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter? Whoa! Which ones? Just this one. Okay. Sixth house with routine. Definitely be mindful of the spending. Sixth house also speaks of debt. Okay. Debts and loss and things like that. So yeah, be very careful with the spending there. Especially if you have, oh, what rising would that be? Hold on, let me think about that. Especially if you're a Capricorn rising and you're watching, oh, and you'd be watching this because you're an earth sign. Especially if you're a Capricorn rising, be very mindful of spending because Venus is transiting your sixth house right now. Anyway, interesting. Like I said, I feel like you're just kind of riding the highs of life and you're just feeling good. This is like day-to-day stuff. This is like, I wake up, I have my cold milk latte, and then I go for a walk on the beach. And then I come home to take a nap and like, I don't know, whatever. It's like doing things like very like luxuriously. I just keep feeling that with you. So not surprised that like sixth house energy is here because I feel like your day-to-day is very luxurious right now. I think that's a good thing though, to some extent. I think it's like, it's allowing you to kind of live more presently. It's allowing you to live more presently. I keep getting this little bit of worry though. Maybe this is your worry or this is just an intuitive thing. We'll see. That you're putting something off. It's not like a Taurus to do that. But you know, we're all human beings and subject to doing that. Any other messages or insights for Taurus? It's almost like you are putting the big things on hold to just kind of enjoy life for a minute and take care of the little things, like the endless to-do list that everybody has of like, damn, I didn't mail that, or oh, I need to like go online and re-register, or whatever it is, right? I do feel like you're taking a step back from the big things, which again, good, be present. I just hope you don't miss anything. Let's see. Any other messages or insights for Taurus? Clyde came in with his toy. I'm sorry. He wants to play. Okay. Any other messages or insights? Oh, we got a kitty cat. Clydester. Water. Ooh, okay, Taurus. Water element with sensing. Yeah, you're just flowing with your day-to-day. And oh, Clyde, you did not. Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry, my faux tripod has fallen over. Scoochie. Thank you. All right, hold on a second. Give me a second. Fixing it. I'm back. Yeah, you're just flowing with your day-to-day. You're flowing with your day-to-day. Do you feel a little bit of health stuff going on there too? Feel a little bit of health stuff. Maybe you guys are trying to incorporate more like physical stuff into your routine, or like you're actually just trying to buy like better quality foods for yourself, but you're focused on day-to-day little tasks. You've really shelved some big things. And again, I keep getting this little pit in my stomach, and I think this is also a worry for you, but you're trying not to focus on it, that you might forget something for your bigger stuff. But it's important to have like the regular day-to-day stuff organized, because then that actually facilitates more productivity, right? First house, the body. You're taking care of yourself in your daily routine. And I like it. I think that's fabulous. Underneath the first house, Capricorn. Capricorn rising. I was like, I knew I felt that Cappy rising energy, that Venus through the sixth house. I knew I felt that. This is basically like Capricorn risings. Venus has been going through your sixth house, okay? Obviously, it depends on like degree range too. Yeah, you're focusing on you, you're focusing on your vessel, you're focusing on daily routine. Beautiful. All right, so let's go back to the tarot cards, see what else wants to come out for you. And again, this is a focus on feeling good, for sure. Any messages or... Is that why? Nine of Cups in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse can be overindulging. So again, be mindful. It can be overindulging. Can also speak of depression. I feel overindulging. I feel overindulging more than anything. Some of you guys might be overindulging because of depression, because of unhappiness, which is why you're starting to focus on your daily routine to kind of get back into balance, get back into equilibrium here. Oh. Any other messages or insights for Taurus? Strength in reverse. That feels like letting go of control, like kind of being out of control a little bit, like almost careless. Yeah, to me that feels a little, it almost feels careless. Excuse me. It feels like carelessness. It also feels like Taurus, some of you guys took a really big ego hit. Like some of you guys have had a really big disappointment. And again, I think that's why you've been kind of like going more towards indulging or trying to feel better in that way. It's funny, it's like Capricorn, very similar, but in their own way. Like they were overdoing something, they were overworking, having too many balls in the air. You Taurus, it's like you're overindulging. You're like, you know, you guys get it. You guys get it. But I feel a big ego hit here that made you feel like you're out of control or you have no control over something. Powerless. Thank you. That's the best word for it. Powerless. Any other? Ooh. Page of Wands. It's a very hopeful sign. I like seeing that. I like seeing the Page of Wands. We shall see what the Page of Wands is here. Page of Wands is like a very like playful, like excitable kind of energy, but it's new, it's fresh. Any other messages or insights for Taurus? Oh, oh, oh. Okay, you ready? Page of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Wow. So this is coming into some information about someone you have a connection with. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's a soul. It's a strong soul connection. It's a prominent. It's intimate. It's not an acquaintance. Okay, not an acquaintance. This is coming into some information, knowledge about them. After really feeling powerless, though. That's interesting. It's almost like once you get really focused on yourself and focused on your daily routine and you just like focus on feeling good, then this information comes forward. But it's after really feeling like doo-doo. Okay? Like just being honest with you. It's after feeling like, damn, like I have like no confidence at all about getting what it is that I want or wish for, and I feel sad and I feel bleh, and I just want to feel good, so I'm gonna go shopping now. Like, you know, it has that feeling to it. Overall, we have the Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands in reverse. Wow, Six of Cups, Five of Cups with the Hermit. Hermit is very important in that position. So there's the Ace of Cups here too. Remember I was feeling that concern where it's like, okay, focusing on like everyday stuff, the present moment, and just feeling good in the moment. Like we can do that, right? We can turn this energy around by just focusing on that stuff. And then you shelve the big things. You shelve the big things that you were concerned about or wondering about. And I was feeling that anxiety of like, what if you miss something, right? What if you miss something? You clearly won't. But that anxiety is there with the Nine of Swords. And that anxiety is around this. Ten of Wands in reverse with the Six of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Hermit. To me, this looks like that you were giving up on somebody. You were giving up on a connection. You were giving up on hopes of either a type of relationship or hopes around somebody who has been significant to you in your life. And it's like the second you start focusing on you and you start trying to transmute that energy by indulging in your favorite foods, your favorite activities, the things that get you high on life, you suddenly come into some information about them or they suddenly hit you up. Now, I don't think I think the approach of focusing on me is exactly what you need to do, right? Focus on you, no matter what's going on with this person, because it looks like with the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, whatever these emotions have been, it's nostalgic. It's from the past. It's old. It's something you've already experienced and are no longer experiencing. And the 10 of Wands in a verse tells me that like you're finally like letting go of something that's really been a burden to you, something that's really been stressing you out, something you've really been hoping for, and it's been giving you anxiety. And like, yeah, it's also been making you feel like crap. And it's like you're deciding, okay, you know what? Not doing it anymore. You're transmuting that whole situation and you're turning it around. Again, I don't really even want to focus on this, whether they say something or not, or you just find something out. So you guys are just going to find something out about somebody, and that's fine too. Just keep focusing on you, no matter what. No matter what. Going back to the shamanic healing oracle. Any advice for my Taurians? See? New beginnings. New beginnings. Focus on you. Focus on you. In a reality where you're not attaching to some of this old emotional stuff about a type of relationship you've always yearned for. Some of you guys, it's just about that. Some of you guys, it's just about, you know, yearning for the perfect relationship, or your knight in shining armor, whatever the phrases are, your sleeping beauty for my guys. You know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. You can have a day-to-day existence that's really happy and really fulfilling, where this is not weighing you down. But new beginnings. Anything else for Taurus? Any other advice for Taurus? Joy. Joy. I don't even feel like I need to read them, but let's read them. Water, emotion, energy, all life-affirming and life-giving. Patience is the key. Once the deluge of emotion passes, you will see that left in its wake is a wondrous new day, a rainbow of possibilities. Do not get attached to the emotions that surround the situation. This will only attach your identification with the emotion itself, giving it more power and hindering the release, so that the door to your new beginning will not open. Sit in the emotion, cry, journal, take it out with a friend, and then let it go. Perform a ritual if you are called to one. Place your feelings on a bit of paper and let it go. Whether through water or fire, both are excellent transmuting elements. That's literally what it said. Be thankful for the experience of the situation and proclaim to Creator that you are ready for the newness that is about to come into your life. And then joy. We are created in joy. The balance of energy and higher vibrations brings us closer to divine love, pure joy. Joy can be a destination, but it can also be the vehicle that you use to get to that destination. Faith, grace, gratitude, and love all merge together at different times and in different amounts to create joy. There's love, growth, tears, change, and self-realization in this card. This card portends a happy and joyous time. Taurus. I love it. All right. Virgos, last but not least. Virgos. Let me check my other cup and see if I got anything in there. A smidgen. Smidgen. Virgo. What's going on for my Virgos? I'm hearing the word buried. Virgo, some of you guys feel buried or trapped in a circumstance of your own making, where like it started with passion and love and joy and like a real strong love for whatever it was that you were. It's almost like I'm seeing like, okay, I'm seeing like a room, and you start putting things in it, and you start putting things in it, you start putting things in it, and like all these things are things like you have a lot of affinity towards, you like are passionate about, you're committed to, and it's like you're putting it in, you're putting in, you're putting in, and then suddenly you realize you've completely trapped yourself in there and you can't get out. Like that's what I'm seeing. Like you can't see the door anymore, you can't see the windows anymore. Obviously it's not for all of you, again, take it as it resonates. And for some of you, this has gone on so long, whatever this metaphorical hoarding room is, you don't even remember why you did it in the first place. Why did I enjoy this again? Why did I like this again? Here comes the questioning of your identity, the questioning of your sense of self. People change. Look, people change all the time. Sometimes we change, we don't even realize we changed, right? I think you're having that moment. Like, you filled your life, your hoarding room, with things that was something. It feels like a particular thing. It doesn't feel like many things. It feels like a particular thing. It could even be a relationship that you were so gung-ho for. You were all in. It gave you so much joy and spark. And however many like days, weeks, months, years have passed, and now you're like, why did I like this again? Why did I want to sign up for this again? Because you've probably changed. You've probably grown, right? And now you got to find a way to get out. Now you got to find a way to unbury yourself, is how this is feeling. Well, Capricorn and Taurus like was a lot more like emotional. It feels like you have to be very tactile about this. Emotions are there too. Like an emotional attachment is in there somewhere. But this feels way more tactile to me. But you're Virgo. You're always tactile. Interesting. Let's see what comes out for you guys. I'm actually being Sean? Yeah, there's a Sean here. Drawn to the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's see what happens with the Virgos. Any messages or insights for Virgos? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Mama's getting sleepy. I'm getting a little sleepy here. Some of you guys is not going to be super extreme, and some of you it will be. You know, it's a spectrum of energy manifesting in different ways for different people. But some of you where it's a way more on the extreme end, it's almost like you don't recognize your life. You don't recognize yourself. Even questioning, how did it go so far? How did it go so far? Any messages or insights for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter? Oh boy. Two sacral cards coming out here. Oh, with completion and self-worth. Yeah, you've changed, Virgo. You've changed. You've been having... Again, some of you, this is a long process, and some of you, it's not. So use your discernment here. Because some of you, I feel like years, okay? I feel there's years at play here with that self-worth card. Because you're coming more from yourself now. You've had a look in the mirror in recent past. I really want to say a year. I really want to say that for most of you, but again, it's different timelines for you guys. You've had a look in the mirror, and it feels like an extended look. And I think you were just kind of in the experience, but not really thinking about it, just kind of going through it. And now you're looking around, and it's like, oh, this is not who I am. This is not who I am. The look in the mirror feels hard. It does. It feels like a struggle. So it can even have been like a mirroring relationship circumstance where somebody was mirroring you back to yourself and caused struggle and strife and conflict there. That feels really resonant. Some of you, you could even have been perceiving it as karma, like Saturn return or Saturn coming down hard on you, where you've had either like health problems, financial problems, or like things have happened to make you sit on your butt. So you had to look at yourself here. Completion is something has come to an end, something has come full circle. And that's what I'm feeling. It's like you're looking around this metaphorical room or relationship, job, whatever it is, and you're like, who was the person that did this? Who was the person that buried themselves in here? It couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me. I feel like it's kind of like you're kind of stunned by it. Like you're kind of appalled, maybe even a little ashamed. You look at, you can see yourself differently now. You have more self-respect now. You want better for yourself now. You do better for yourself now. And this relationship, this job, lifestyle, whatever it is, it's just like, I gotta get out now. I gotta get out now. I'm not the person who did this. I'm not the person who put all these things in this room. I'm not that person. I'm not that person anymore. Wow. See if any other ones want to come out. A lot of cards coming out now for my Virgos. How many of you guys got 3? Oh, 4. Let's see. Oh, of course you guys will get the perfection card. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. Expansion and impatience. I'm getting anxiety there with impatience. Getting a lot of anxiety there. You are different. You are a different person. You have different needs. And again, it's like you're holding yourself to like better treatment, to a better life, because you see yourself differently now as being worth more now. Yeah. And in that, you're ready for it, but you got to get out of the room first. You got to declutter the room first. You can't just like magically teleport out of a room, right? You need to walk through the door or climb through the window, but before you can do that, you got to move all the newspapers, got to move all the video games, got to move all the trash that's blocking all that stuff that you put in there, right? It's interesting because it's such like a metaphor for how we do healing, right? How we do like shadow work, inner child work, all that stuff. It's like we go through our personal rooms in our house of us and we clean. Got to clean the room. You got to clean the room first, Virgo. You got to clean the room first. Then we have perfection and perception. I feel judgment. I feel a lot of judgment here. A lot of judgment. Some of you guys have really been facing that and you're a look in the mirror. Again, this look in the mirror, I really feel like it's come by way of relationships or a relationship. That's really been showing you. No matter how triggering it's been, no matter how painful or upsetting it's been or stressful or what have you. And I feel like there's a lot of judgment there, criticism, unpleasant communication, sharp tongue, like that sort of stuff. And maybe you grew up with that. And like, you know, it's just been embedded in part of your being, right? That you don't deserve certain things or what have you. And it's caused you to trap yourself in whatever this is. But anyway, so coming back to present moment before we get lost in all of that. Perception. Some of you guys are realizing, please don't be mad or triggered when I say this. If you are, you are, right? You know, I'm not going to tell you what to feel, but some of you guys are realizing how judgmental you are. We're going there. Sorry. I don't sugarcoat things. That's not the kind of reader I am. And especially by way of how judgmental or critical someone else is or has been and how that's been reflected to you. It could even been like a back and forth to where you pushed them too far or they pushed you too far. Because I feel like for some of you, the mirroring circumstance could even been with somebody who's actually not judgmental. But if you are being judgmental, it's like how long until the other person that you're dealing with becomes judgmental, right? You might even perceive people as judgmental or critical when they're not, right? So this is all tied into what led you to trapping yourself in that metaphorical room, relationship, job, whatever, lifestyle, whatever. It's tied into your self-worth. judgment, criticism. There's emotion. I'm hearing emotional attachment. There's emotional attachment in there. I'm not really sure how that ties into it. Probably individual for each of you. But you are really realizing like this has been a part of your experience. This has been a part of how you've seen yourself, how you've seen people, and maybe how people have treated you. And now after that long, hard look in the mirror, probably by way of a relationship or relationships, you're looking around and it's like, I can be different now. This is not who I am. This is not who I am by nature. This is not who I want to be, and I'm ready to get out of the room. And there is this eagerness to get out of the room, but you got to clean the room first. That's the only way out. You got to clean the room first. There's also taking accountability. That is part of that too. That is kind of uncomfortable, but that's definitely a part of it. It's definitely a part of it. For those where you've really been struggling with judgment, you've also judged yourself just as harshly as you judge others. Some people can see that. Some of you might not think that, but some people can see that. That when you're judging them, they know you're judging yourself. I can tell some guys don't like that. Like some guys, I felt like a wince. With a little bit of a wince there. But you are liberating yourself here. Clean the room first. Okay? Let's pull some tarot cards for you and advice, and then we're going to go, because I got to go to the bathroom. This has been a much longer reading than I anticipated. If I can pick these cards up, get my little mini Rider Waite here. Okay. Virgos. Any messages or insights for my Virgos? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Any other messages or insights from my Virgos? Eight of Swords in reverse. You realizing you trapped yourself in a prison of your own making, a room of your own making, and you can get out. You can get out. You see the truth. You see the light. Any other messages or insights for Virgos? King of Pentacles. Responsibility. King of Pentacles is the king of responsibility and accountability and commitment and follow through. Adulting. We'll just call him the king of adulting. Okay. But I can feel that taking accountability and responsibility. Any other messages or insights for my Virgos? Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. I actually feel this representing your house. Like, I really feel that so strongly. Like, you're cleaning out the room so you can reclaim the house yourself, which will involve your path and your legacy and everything that you build as an extension of yourself, right? What's interesting, though, is that we do have Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is kind of like that kind of judgmental energy. Page of Pentacles in reverse can be, like, envious and a little critical, quick to say things that are, yeah, it's like I'm getting, like sassy, judgmental energy with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, but it really speaks of envy, which is tied into all that self-worth stuff. Yeah. Got to be willing to look at this part of yourself to clean the room. And some of you, this is going to be inner child. Page's total inner child here. But this is looking at that part of you. Okay. To clean the room. On the bottom, Four of Cups in reverse. Ooh, with Seven of Cups in reverse, Three of Cups right there. Wow, and then the Seven of Wands. This is very defensive energy. This is defensive energy around Three of Cups energy, because we have the 4 and the 7, which is groups of people, social dynamics, gatherings, parties, where people are being fun and joyful and laughing, like defensive. That's what I'm getting with this. Very defensive. Because there's this feeling of being left out. There's this feeling of like, I'm not included or I'm rejected. Like I'm not accepted. There's a feeling there. And the Seven of Cups in reverse with the Seven of Wands upright. This is like such a, I'm so self-assured, reassured that this is the truth. This is the reality. But when you talk about the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of other realities at play. There's a lot of other truths at play. Seven of Cups is kind of an interesting card when like you think of it from like a multi-dimensional standpoint, because it almost is like looking at different timelines. It's almost like looking at truly different realities, right? But anyway, so that's what I'm actually getting here. This is part of that Page of Pentacles in reverse energy. Taking accountability and responsibility for the room that you have trapped yourself in. Whether it's a relationship, a lifestyle choice, a job, or even just a way of relating to people, right? Because this is such a lonely, rejected feeling, unaccepted feeling, but at the same time, so judgmental and critical and envious, like all at the same time. And I can feel that some of you have been angry or mad at people for rejecting you, or you feeling rejected. But there's also a very sobering moment here of how are you presenting yourself, right? Did you come with that judgment? Did you come with criticism? Did you come with, I judge myself, so I judge you, right? Sort of energy. It's like, you're able to leave the room as a king, taking accountability and responsibility and having that integrity for when you were being a Page of Pentacles in reverse. Now again, it's not for everybody. This can also be reversed or vice versa. But let's pull some cards for you, okay? Let's pull some advice for my Virgos. Advice for Virgo, Sun and Rising Venus and Jupiter. Any advice for my Virgos? And for those of you where you trapped yourself in a relationship or some kind of living situation, but especially the King of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles, getting out of the room is not just an emotional cleaning house thing, but it's also we need to have a conversation. And they might be a Page of Pentacles in reverse while you're coming across as a king, because there's a reason that you guys interacted, or the reason why you guys habitated together, even if you're family, okay? And I definitely feel that judgmental energy there. Anyway, any advice for my Virgos? It's all good. You're not trapped. You can get out of the room. I mean, you were kind of trapped, but it's a perception thing. It's an illusion thing, right? You're good. Things are good. You're not going to be as harsh on yourself as you have been in the past. You're going to be more free. You're also going to be expanding. It's all good. It's also a positive sign that the choices you're making now and the progress you're going to have, it's there, it's coming, it's for you. It's kind of like a yes card. Interesting, on the bottom we have omens. We're going to keep that. That's signs and synchronicities from the universe. What is the universe trying to tell you? What is spirit trying to tell you? What are people trying to tell you? Right? The long, hard look in the mirror. What is it trying to tell you? Let's go ahead and read those, and we're going to wrap this up. Every experience you have in your lifetime has the potential to be a teaching tool. All right, look in the mirror. By remembering and embracing this idea, the situations you encounter become less fraught with unneeded emotion and drama. By not attaching labels or expectations to people and situations, you allow the pure divine energy to flow unimpeded. While you may have little control over what happens to you at times, you always have control over how you react. Do you react on an impulse, strike out at others when you feel hurt? Do you crawl into your safe place when the world seems mean and hurtful? Face this challenge in your life head on. Be thankful for the opportunity to experience whatever it is that is happening. Set yourself a goal of learning from every situation in your life. Find that silver lining. It's there. It's there. Okay. Hawks are messengers. The majestic bird flies high and reaches the realms of the spirit. They bring back messages from both the seen and unseen. Drawing this card speaks of focus and intuition. Pay attention to the coincidences in your life right now. Focus on where you want to go. How high do you want to fly? When you see a hawk, someone is trying to get your attention. Pay attention to serendipity in your life. Be glad, for this is a reminder that you are living in the flow of energy. Things will soon shift for you. Okay. All right, Virgos and other earth signs and any cross watchers who are watching, thank you guys for hanging out and joining me and supporting the channel, supporting me, and supporting anyone else in this endeavor. I do see some of the nice comments you guys leave for each other. I see other comments too, but we're not going to talk about those. Anyway, don't forget to check out Patreon, the website, and Vimeo, and I hope to see you guys really soon. Take care.